What's beneath your toddler's behavior? I understand you're doing this course to know how you can manage your toddler's behaviors that often shock, surprise, or frustrate you. These are the most common forms of toddler behavior that most parents struggle with. I'm sure you can relate with at least a few of them: aggression, hitting, biting, throwing things, picky eating, sleep struggles, hyperactivity, clinginess or separation anxiety, shyness, doesn't share, struggles for daily chores like brushing, bathing, needs to do everything herself, and the ultimate, tantrums and meltdowns. I want to tell you firstly that if you've seen any of these behaviors in your toddler, there's absolutely nothing wrong with your child and there's nothing wrong with you. You are not a bad parent because of these behaviors. These behaviors are very common and a lot of it is developmentally age appropriate. This is how toddlers are because of their brain that's still under construction. We learned that in the last lesson, remember? The more important thing to know is that your toddler's behavior is just the tip of the iceberg. Trying to fix the behavior is much like trying to chip away the unwanted parts of this massive iceberg tip, hoping to sculpt it the way you like. Can you imagine what a tedious and futile task that is? That's why I want to show you what's beneath that tip of the iceberg. And I want to give you a new way of looking at your toddler's behavior. One that addresses the root and not just the symptom, that is the behavior. So, this is the crux of everything. Beneath every behavior, there's an emotion, and beneath every emotion, there's a need. When we meet that need rather than focus on the behavior, we begin to deal with the cause and not the symptom. For example, at 9 p.m., when your toddler throws a massive fit about wanting the pink cup and not the green cup, do you think this absolutely irrational behavior is because they love their pink cup so much? Not really. Beneath this behavior, which they are expressing in the form of anger or frustration, that is their emotions, is a hidden need. In this example of wanting the pink cup only, what could that need be? Think, are they overtired and sleepy? Means the tantrum is saying they need rest. Are they frustrated over having to comply with you all day, every day, and now they are exercising their power? Means the tantrum says they need power. So, in order to deal with the behavior, you need to first accept the emotions underlying it and then meet the need that caused those emotions. In effect, the only way to get rid of the undesirable behavior is to meet the need. This is something I'll be reiterating throughout this course, and if you can get this, you will have major peace and success in your parenting. To understand this better, put on your gardener hat, please. Just like I briefly mentioned in the earlier lesson, what do you do when you see flowers wilting? Do you say, "Don't act silly, come on, brighten up"? Or do you put some sticks to fix the plant's outward appearance? No. You realize that there's something missing, maybe water or sunlight. You look beyond what you see. You provide the plant with what you think it's missing. You satisfy its need. Some guesswork is involved in this process, but slowly and steadily, depending on the extent of damage that's done, when their needs are met, the plant and the flower bloom again. So, relating the plant analogy to your toddler misbehaving, like hitting others, throwing things, or screaming because she wants one more chocolate, is like the plant wilting. It is a call for help. It is your toddler's way of saying, "I can't really control myself. I'm not able to manage my anger and frustration. Maybe I'm tired or sleepy. Please help me." So here's what you, the parent, the gardener, needs to do when you see your little flower wilting with unwanted, irrational, highly emotional behaviors. You need to get curious and ask, what could be missing? What is she needing? How can I meet that need? Will there be some guessing involved? Yes, but I'm going to do my best to help you with a step by step process that helps you make that guess about the unmet need faster and as accurately as possible so that you can meet the underlying need and thus manage your toddler's behavior effectively. For now, what you need to remember always is behavior is communication. Misbehavior is a call for help. Your toddler, with his limited language capacities, communicates through his behaviors and through his emotions. Do you wish you did not have to deal with those emotions? Yes, sure, me too. But the only way out is through. Remember, this is your toddler's default state, a state of joy and playfulness, provided his needs are met. Whenever you find your child deviating from this default state of joy in the form of tantrums, disobedience, defiance, meltdowns, irrational demands, get curious. Get to the root. But how? I'll tell you how in the next lesson.